that's interesting. If, say, you had like a group of people come into a training course that you were doing and you're wanting to teach them something, is there anything that you can do to help them all get into a good mental state? Like if you notice that people aren't quite ready for the learning experience or don't want to be there or upset about something, like what do you do to manage that?
So I think you manage it for a start by starting really, really early. So you're persuading people that they want to come and they want to learn. So you're not sending out, here's a mandatory training thing you must attend, because that just already puts people's backs up, gives them a sense of fear. So you start before the training happens. You then set up your learning environment, and that's exactly the same whether it's virtual or whether it's face-to-face, but you set up your environment so that it's friendly, so that it's agreeable, so that people feel comfortable in it. So you need to spend time for people to get to know each other and get to know, the trainer, whoever the trainer may be. So you need to have, and I know you do a lot of e-learning and things. Even within an e-learning environment, people need to feel comfortable with the environment before they can start working with the learning, the knowledge or the skills they're going to have to learn. So there's a huge amount you can do. And if you see a group is struggling for some reason, you have to do something about it. Sometimes it's really simple things like, the room's too hot, the room's too cold, they might be hungry, they might be tired. There's really basic primitive human things that we need to address first before we try and start getting into the learning. People need water, they need fresh air. So all those things are really important to sort of start people feeling like they want to learn.
I love that. I feel like that's great, because I think sometimes we can try to get people to learn a whole heap of content and just say, we've got this amount of time, let's get you through all of this. But it sounds like it is really important to get them into a state where they're ready to take in those learnings, whether that's taking a break or, like you said, like the room's too hot. Like I don't think I would always think of things like that. So that's really interesting to think about things like that, because it can have an impact on how we take in information.
And also just how the room is set up. So, your classic rows of desks really put people off, because that just takes them back to school, which for most people was not their best learning experience. But even things like the classic horseshoe of tables, that's not great for learning, because you're actually separating people out from each other. You're distancing them from each other. And okay, right now we're all supposed to be distanced, but on the whole,
mandatory.
On the whole, we are social creatures and we like to connect, and it helps people if they are in an environment where they feel much more socially connected. So just the way you lay out your room can have a massive impact. We always, we do quite a lot of work when we're thinking about physical training. We do quite a lot of work to make sure that we've got light environments, we've got temperature is right, that the people are fed before they arrive, or fed out as they arrive. It's kind of food that is nutritious, as opposed to being, loads of sticky cakes and biscuits. So that kind of environmental impact is massively important, and that translates through to virtual too.
I was about to say, how do you do that in a virtual environment? Like if you're running a workshop virtually, which is going to be happening a lot for people now, how do you achieve that in that environment?
So yesterday we were running our first cybersecurity foundations program. And one of the things we do, we have quite a lot of prep work for people to do beforehand, which is part of the learning. They do a lot of kind of exploration of content and things before they come. But also we say, right, so you're going to be sitting in a webinar. Make sure you've got access to a drink. If you need a snack, then have it handy, have it with you. Halfway through, we encourage people to go and take 5 minutes break, whatever you need a break for. If we can, we encourage them to stand up quite often. So we might even ask them to move away from the computer and go and do something. Shorter sessions, we would never do anything like that for more than about 90 minutes, and then we send people off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we actually say to them, look, make sure you go and get some fresh air, and make sure you feed yourself. Don't just dive into your computer and be working online, because that's not giving you that break you need.